Good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone here today in Munich, and I'm so happy to see that so many of you have turned out here in this room today. It's always great to see you in person. However, still, Teams and Zoom and whatever paid great service to us, obviously. The topic of today's presentation is sustainable packaging development. I will give you two specific examples to illustrate what the family-owned company Edelmann has achieved in terms of sustainable packaging development. My name is Helmut Sieber, and I am Edelmann's head of packaging development. Before I get started with the two examples I just mentioned, I would like to give you some information about the Edelmann company. Who are we? Where are we based? And what exactly do we do? Edelmann, as I mentioned just a minute ago, is a family-owned company. It has been around since 1913. Our turnover amounts to 300 million. We have folding boxes and rigid boxes. Rigid means rigid cardboard. We produce 4.5 billion per year, just to give you a rough estimate. And we also produce leaflets, a total of 1.1 billion per year. So let me explain what our portfolio looks like. First and foremost, with Edelmann, we do folding boxes. We also develop individual packaging solutions. We do finishings, we do printings, we do coatings. We also apply safety mechanisms, which is state-of-the-art nowadays. We do rigid boxes. So what's special about rigid boxes? So there is a distinction between those with sharp creases, sharp edges, and those with rounded edges. So we as a company can also produce sharp edges in our rigid boxes, and we can produce it with our machinery. So we're also active in the leaflet sector. So we do inserts, we do outserts, but also highly finished booklets with significantly high value, similar to that of a folding box. If the cover and the last page, so to speak, are highly finished, and we also apply golden and glossy elements. We also have special packaging products in our portfolio. So what does that mean? So if you have a folding box made from cardboard, and that's not enough for our client, requirements are different. What we can do is we can use corrugated cardboard in order to offer our client the full range of packaging options. We only use corrugated board for that here. So what are combi cartons? Combi cartons are folding boxes where you have a foil layer, a film layer, in order to add additional stability and protection. For example, when it comes to cereals packaging, or for example, to keep all the aroma and flavor in, and that will add special functions to the product. So what you can see here is where our company is active all across the world. You can see it's a global map. We're a globally acting company. And in Germany alone, we have 6 production facilities: Heidenheim, Weilheim, Bitterfeld, Norderstedt, Lindau, and Burscheid. And again, look at the map. 9 countries across 4 continents. So let me tell you a little more about sustainability at our company. With Edelmann, sustainability has been very important for years. So when purchasing our raw materials, we have to fulfill certain requirements. Our social responsibility, how do we treat our employees? What about our ethical and social standards? That's always top of the list at Edelmann. So we all put that into our sustainability report. The latest report was in 2021, and you can access that online if you want to. Sorry about that. So that's our report. Just let me give you some information about EcoVadis Gold. EcoVadis is a sustainability ranking scheme. And if you're top of the list of the ranking scheme, it means that it's our task to live up to that standard, to even exceed our standards in the years that will follow. So it means that the ranking scheme actually calls upon us not to just keep the status quo, but to actually top it up, to become even better, because only if you do that, you will actually maintain your position in that ranking. So in our case, we received the EcoVadis Gold Award. Sustainable packaging development. This is a key factor for your products. It's not only a key factor for your products, though. It's a key factor for you personally, too. And I would now like to give you two examples. My first example here is going to be Beiersdorf. And I would like to explain to you what actually did Beiersdorf ask from Edelmann. How could prototyping look like? And what was the sustainable packaging that Edelmann came up with? Okay, so actually, what was the task? What were we supposed to do? What were the client requirements? So we had an empty dispenser provided to Edelmann, and we had tabs. And let me just give you some information ahead. The tabs, it's pressed powder, and our task was, is there an option to develop a folding box that is trickle-proof? Because obviously you want to prevent that when you buy the product at the shop, prevent parts of the powder that fell off the tap during transport somewhere in a bag. You don't want it to trickle through the pack and have it all in your bag, for example. So Beiersdorf's sustainable concept means you get an empty bottle. That's what the end consumer gets. They want the end consumer to buy the tabs. Then you put the tabs inside the empty bottle. You fill the bottle up with water. And at home in your bathroom, you can actually create the soap solution. In order to live up to that sustainability concept, Edelmann was responsible for creating sustainable packaging to go with it. So what exactly did we do? As you can see here at the very top of the slide, we did the prototyping, which means we developed a prototype. So we developed some packaging for the bottle as such. Also, they wanted us, okay, we want something on top, some additional packaging for the tabs, and we also want a pack, as you can see here, with some Eurohole up there, which was supposed to be the refillable, which would also include tabs. So looking at the prototypes here, we said, this can't be sustainable. How are we supposed to do that? So our task at Edelmann was to come up with a sustainable concept to fulfill these requirements. So what does our sustainable concept look like? As you can see here, we have a sleeve. This sleeve takes up the dispenser as such, and at the same time, on the reverse side, there is a little compartment where you can add one single tab. So, what Beiersdorf needs is some advertising space on the pack in order to explain what the different scents and fragrances are. So we succeeded in putting like this little box up here. And on the reverse side, there's even sufficient space for instructions of use, for guidelines, how to use the product, etc. So we actually used the minimum of materials possible, but still succeeded to put all the elements we needed in one folding box. Here is the refillable pack. So this is again a folding box. The closure is trickle-proof. And again, to put the fragrance on the pack, you have this little advertising space up here. So that's what the finished product looked like. Again, I would like to point out to you, these are the refillers. There are 3 different fragrances, and they had the option to use that advertising space here on top to actually write the fragrance right here. And we used minimum materials to pack both the dispenser and the sachet, including 1 tap, and putting it in a separate compartment here. So many of you may be thinking, well, using a sleeve for a bottle, what about protection during transport? From a sleeve, well, it's very easy that objects may slide out of it. No, that's not true for this particular packaging. I'm sorry about that. What we have here is a separate product fixation within the sleeve in order to prevent the bottle from sliding out of the sleeve. As you can see down here on the bottom, this is like a folded corner. This folded corner prevents the tabs if they're without a foil. You can pack it into the folding box, but still, nothing of the product will fall out. The closure is completely trickle-proof. And everything I just explained to you in theory, like our requirements, what we did, what Edelmann did in order to come up with sustainable packaging, what the product looks like, I would like to show you a short video where you can see all those steps, everything I just talked about.
Ja, das war das Beispiel.
Well, that was our first example when we worked with Beiersdorf. And let me move on to the second example. This is an example from our cooperation with the Dr. Grandel company for cosmetics ampules.
Nachhaltige Verpackungsentwicklung.
So sustainable packaging development. Dr. Grandel has high standards when it comes to sustainability. And Dr. Grandel approached us, asking us for our cosmetics products. We developed the theme Pop Art. That meant that for their folding boxes, they need large spaces for graphical, artsy elements. At the same time, they ask us to come up with easy accessibility, to make it very easy to take out individual ampules for the end consumers, to give them a great overview of the contents of the box. And again, they said they needed some extra space for a leaflet. These were the basic requirements. At the same time, what they wanted to do is develop a very elegant packaging. They didn't want it to be thrown out right after the ampules have been used, but they wanted to put it to some secondary use. These are high-value products, high-value ampules, and for that reason, they wanted to come up with high-value packaging as well.
Das ist Edelmann gelungen.
And Edelmann succeeded in doing that. What we did was we came up with a packaging which can be printed both on the inside, on the outside, offers plenty of space, and the lid actually closes over the bottom of the box. That, as a safety feature, we integrated an audibly clicking into place lid. So when you put down the lid, it will audibly click into place. So that provides the consumer with the absolute certainty that the packaging has been closed completely. So, in order to put the vials in the box, you can use some plastic fixtures, but we at Edelmann used a mono material. We also used cardboard. So the outer packaging is made from cardboard, the inserts are made from cardboard. It's totally sustainable. At the very bottom, you'll find the leaflet. So if you remove the insert, you'll find the leaflet underneath. So what about finishing? Because this packaging has a lot of graphical, artistic elements. So how does finishing work in such a case? That's only possible if you use digital finishing. What we wanted to do is we wanted elevated structures in glitter and gloss and silver. So how did we succeed in doing that? By means of digital finishing, I can have elevated glossy structures of the ampules here. Also for the Dr. Grandel logo, we used metallic elements. We used elevated structures, silver structures, to elegantly represent the company logo. I would now like to introduce you to the overall series. The entire series holds 4 different care products, and those 4 different care products had to be represented in a variety of colors in order to signal to the end consumer this is Series A, Series B, Series C, Series D. So that was the final result. We have a large variety of colors. The insert is made from cardboard. We have a foldable lid which audibly clicks into place. We have elevated structures. So what Dr. Grandel does to even top that up, and that's something that links to Edelmann and our sustainability efforts, is up here. So using FSC certified monomaterials, using CO2 trade-off schemes for packaging. Dr. Grandel supports the creation of fountain systems in Africa, supports reforestation, supports the Deutsche Wald German Forest Foundation. This is something that goes hand in hand with sustainable development. It goes hand in hand with Edelmann and our sustainability efforts. Again, at this point, I would like to show you a short video to give you a better insight into this project and the final results.
Meine Damen, meine Herren,
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much for your attention, for your interest in today's presentation, and I'm happy to take your questions if there are any. So if you want to experience firsthand, if you want to hold in your hand all the products that I presented to you today, come to our booth in Hall 4, booth 06B03. And this is not the only project that we're working on. So we're happy to welcome you to all kinds of different interesting projects, alternative solutions for cell rating, for example. So how do we actually do without protective films in beauty care? How about tamper-evident features? We can provide consultation on alternative materials that you could use, and we also have alternative solutions for plastic inserts, etc. So I hope this presentation got you a little curious. I would like to invite you to visit us at our booth, and I'm happy to take your questions. If you have a question, just raise your hand and we will get the microphone to you.
Hallo.
Thank you. Hello.
Zu diesen Boxen für Dr.
About the Dr.
Würde mich
Grandel
interessieren,
boxes, I would be
Hören Sie mich?
interested. Can you hear me? Yes.
ob diese
I
Metallisierungseffekte
would be
trotzdem
interested
dazu
in the metallic
führen, dass das Produkt
effects.
nicht mehr recycelt werden kann.
Will that
Altpapier.
actually
Oder
tamper
ist
with
es
recycling? Will that be a problem? Can I still put it in the waste paper bin? No, the metal effects are just very little, so you can actually put it in recycling, both the folding box and the insert. In a normal waste paper bin? Yes, exactly. Any other questions? It seems that I provided enough information, so I gave you all the details already. So I hope my presentation was successful because I cannot see any other questions. So I'd like to thank you very much, and I would really be happy to see some of you at our booth later today. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.